So in order to understand one's emotional pain, we need to understand how atomic energy works. When an atom is heated and compressed, the particles just expand. They want to repel, they want to rebel and push away. So just like it is in our body, when a little child gets placed into a schooling system, into a kindergarten, or even let's go younger, in a Russian system, children are placed in the cloth and they're kept tight, so you cannot move. The child wants to eat, and he's not fed. When he cries, he's fed according to the clock. Its needs are not being met. Or when in the schooling system a child is told to speak when you're spoken to and keep quiet when you have an opinion, and many other things. I'm not even going to go into that. So that's how a child gets heated and compressed. You're not allowed to express yourself, and then through humiliation, I remember from my schooling days, we were having a chat with my friend, and a teacher came with a huge ruler, Kah! And this is Crawford College in South Africa. Gosh, I got such a fright. I mean, to this date I remember it. Or when I had a bit into a chili and my mouth was burning and I was screaming. I'm 5 years old. My dad is like, "Oh, shut up! Shut up!" And then he's like, "Klah!" and he hits me. Energy does not go anywhere. To this day, I remember this scenario, and I played it out to the exact replica with my own son. As much as I thought it was insane and I'd never do that, I replayed it into the same replica with my own son. This is why I'm starting to dig through my own stuff, because I do not want to keep on repeating that terrible baggage that got placed into me and take it onto my child, and then my child will take it onto his generations down the line. We cannot look at the emotional being as good and bad, dark and light. It's just we need to understand how atomic energy works, because Hitler did not come in as a bad person. He got beaten in his childhood and humiliated to the point that he just wanted to rebel and revenge. That's how the energy works. When you come in as a little child, your atoms are dancing and playing, and you just want to, live in joy. And then we get all of these systems and conditions and compressions that are happening onto us, and then we get warped out. And if we do not deal with this later in our lives, when we are more conscious, when we do have our logical brain developed, if we do not get to deal with these things, it's like on a stuck record groove. We'll just go along the same neurological pathway. The same neurons will be firing over and over again, and through our actions we will just create the chemistry reinforcing the same pathway. Without even being consciously aware of it, we will recreate the same experiences. For example, I moved out into nature, and living 6 weeks ago, I totally lost my mind. I was so angry because I was craving a certain chemistry. I was craving certain explosions, certain confrontations. And who do you hammer? You hammer the closest person to you. And that's why there's 90% divorce rate. So we need to look into these things. We need to address them. We need to work through them and consciously rewire our circuitry. So these are not linear processes. They are multidimensional, and our brain is so complex I can't even fathom to try and explain it in this video. And together with Zoya, we'll slowly but surely build up on the story. But you need to know that if you haven't dealt with your stuff from childhood, as much as you thought that you were not traumatized, if you've gone through a schooling system, if you've gone through a kindergarten, nursery school, if you've gone through university, you know that you have been traumatized. Most definitely. We are all carriers of the same programs, the same belief systems, the successful success, and all of that BS that we just absorbed as the absolute truth without questioning it. And none of us will question it because all of this is so deep on the background, like my dad kept on telling. Loaded with train carriageways. And to this date, I've been going big, going huge with everything I do. Even the gardens I create are so big. I don't even have time to weed the gardens. I'll just create them big and then somebody else must weed them. And where are those black laborers or the Mexicans? They must do the weeding, but I'll just create a massive garden. Now that I'm starting to question all of these things, I'm realizing that I'm just following my father's program of go big or go home. I had no chance to even change it until very recently that I've started to work with myself, and that is why I'm paying such gratitude and such deep attention to this inner work, and hence sharing this with you. And the reason that we want to look into all of this is because, as I said, the energy does not go anywhere. When something has been put into you, like you poke here, it pokes out there. So it might take a year, 10 years, but it will come out. It will ricochet. It will just explode and trash and destroy everything on its path. So we can look into these things that have been put into us and rewire our circuitry. It's possible. Zoya has done it. A lot of other people have done it, and I'm busy doing it. It's quite hard work, but it is possible to change our circuitry and to become better people that we want to be on our planet. So our children carry on the beautiful energy forth to their children and not repeat all the shit programs and traumas that we have received from our parents, which they have received from post-war and all of that scenario. So I hope to the changes in our life.